Solving a problem means you don't need the bureaucracy anymore. Solving the problem means you don't need the Democrats anymore. Solving the problem means you can't blame Trump for it anymore. But apparently the pictures are so bad and the suffering of the children is so bad that not even the drive-by media wants to cover for the Democrat. Mexico, especially in the southern border, is simply behaving like they have been committing to behaving for decades. Well, maybe 2 decades, 20 years. They've been letting their southern border slide, and nobody was pressuring them on it. Well, we all know the reason. Both political parties in America didn't mind open borders. The more the merrier. The Democrats for voter registration, the Republicans ostensibly for cheap labor. So Trump is the game changer here now. And the reason the Mexicans are doing what they're doing on their southern border, it only took a couple of days after threatening to slap a bunch of tariffs on them, and look what happened. They started adhering to law that was already on the books. This entire situation that we are in with illegal immigration could be rectified with the simple enforcement of existing law, which is what the ICE raids are going to be. There's nothing new about them. There's nothing draconian. There's nothing outrageous. There's simply the enforcement of existing law. We haven't done it for so long is why it looks inhumane and mean to people. But it's existing law. There is so much law in this country that if we would just enforce a lot of it that we don't, we wouldn't need any new laws of any subsequence or sustenance. Consequence is what I'm trying to say. But we don't enforce a lot of them. Let me give you an example. Remember when the state of Arizona, under the governor, oh, come on, mind? What is that? She was a Rush baby, the governor there, Anyway, they were so frustrated that the Obama administration would not enforce basic, Jan Brewer, would not enforce basic United States immigration law, that they crafted state immigration law that mirrored federal immigration law. You know what happened? The Obama regime sued them under the premise, you guys don't run immigration. The federal government does. You don't get to dictate immigration policy. We do. So screw you. And, of course, the courts upheld that. All right. Here comes Andrew Cuomo and whoever else, Gavin Newsom, the rest of these Democrat governors, advocating that illegal aliens get driver's licenses. We don't need any new laws to involve TSA. We just need to have somebody at the federal government say, you can't do that. You don't run immigration law. You don't have the authority to grant driver's licenses to non-citizens, to illegal immigrants. Now, Governor Cuomo and his crowd would fight it because this is part of, you mentioned, this is one of the first steps, driver's licenses to voter registration. We all know what the game is. This is my point about not needing new laws. All it takes, but a law is worthless if it's not going to be enforced, and if violators are not going to be held accountable. And so since these laws are not being upheld, this gives us reason to come up with new laws. We don't need any new laws when you get right down to brass tacks. All it takes is somebody to say to Andrew Cuomo and the people of New York, you can't do that. Immigration law is not your province. It's the same thing with sanctuary cities. Now, people say, wait a minute, Rush, what about federalism and states' rights? Well, yeah, states have rights, but in matters of federal law, the states do not trump, per se. And the federal government has total purview because the federal government controls the unified border. You can't turn over border control to individual states.